Where's the
Here you go.
And we seriously have an assembly, like we do about 4,000 cookies a year.
In your 40.
And they have a cookie Bible down to like the minutes.
And then when I worked in insurance, we had insurance masters. So we had to speak.
My buddy just went.
All right. La La Land wins Best Picture, or so they thought. The biggest fiasco to ever happen at the Oscars happened 2 years ago when La La Land was giving their acceptance speech for an award they didn't get. I'm going to be talking about the Academy Awards. I'm going to be going into the history of the Academy Awards, who gets to vote, and the history of the Best Picture Award. So let's talk about the Academy Awards. Martin Chilton of Telegraph talks about the very first award show. It was on May 16th, 1929, and they only gave out 15 awards. It was the only show not to be broadcast anywhere. The very next year, as Lois Bergona of Insider writes, was broadcast through the radio. And then in 1953, it was put on television, where it has stayed to today. One of the changes that they made was now they give out 24 awards. And the biggest change is in the amount of Academy members that they have. So, who gets to vote? The Academy Awards are seen as the highest filmmaking award because of who gets to vote. That's because no press are allowed in the Academy. The only way you get into the Academy is if, one, you have some hand in the production of films, and two, you get an invite from the Academy Board. So, Paul Schrodt of Business Insider says that in 2015 there was over 7,000 members in the Academy, and they are working to diversify. In an interview with Pete Hammond of Deadline, current president of the Academy, Dan Bailey, said that there's a whole filmmaking community that doesn't feel like they are represented in the Academy. So what they're trying to do is send out invites to a more diverse group and take away membership from people who haven't worked on movies in the past couple of years. So those are the people who get to vote on awards like the Best Picture Award. The very first Best Picture Award was there was a big change to the second one. The very first award, there was only silent films. The second award show, from the second on, they started adding in films with sound. The next big change to the Best Picture Award was when, in 2009, they expanded the amount of films nominated from 5 to 10. And this was because Christopher Tapley of Variety writes about how 2008, The Dark Knight was snubbed from a Best Picture Award, and this was to bring in more people who watched only popular films, so they would start watching the Oscars. And he talks about how before 2009, there wasn't the average gross of ticket sales for the Best Picture Award was under $70 million. After the 2009 change, there was 1 year where the average was under $70 million. So this has been a little bit of a history on the Academy Awards, and we talked about the Best Picture Award, who got to vote, and the Academy Awards itself. I hope this gave you a little bit of insight into filmmaking's biggest award show. That's a wrap.
I like how you put it.
Same people.
You can edit out that last part if you want.